May I ask my panelists to come right on here so that we can dive into it. Thank you, Steve, for the introduction. I will be very short because I'm still in the situation where Steve was before he had these discussions we just mentioned, which made him understand what the difference between convergence and harmonization is. My name is Andreas Seiter. I work for the World Bank. We are, as you have seen in one of the slides maybe, we are managing a trust fund. Funding comes from Gates Foundation, and the project, one single bigger project that we are financing right now is the African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Initiative with the specific implementation in the East African community. And I'm not going to explain that in more detail because we have Margaret Sigonda, I think in the second session, who will give you some details on the status of this project. So I'm a pharmaceutical policy generalist, and the regulatory aspect is just one of the many things. I find it extremely interesting, intriguing. For me, this is the place where hard science meets, the cognitive complexity, the human minds, that we all come from different backgrounds in terms of geography, in terms of education, in terms of our professional training routines, the way we have learned to look at things and do things, whether we work in a bureaucracy or in the private sector. I've done both, so I come from private sector originally, and now I'm in a bureaucracy. It requires quite a shift of mindset, and words mean different things in these contexts. Maybe I'm sitting here as chairing the session because I've been heard in several meetings asking the question, what are we talking about? Yes. I don't know whether you find yourself often in a situation, in a meeting, where people talk a lot, but nobody has actually clarified what the whole thing is about. So we wanted to avoid this in this particular workshop. That's, I think, why the organizers decided to have this session at the beginning, to clarify what the various terms mean. We have two speakers here, and then we have some time for discussion. I just want to introduce the speakers and go right into the subject. First one is Mike Ward, and I think at least half of you probably know him and have interacted with him. Mike is from Health Canada and has been involved in international activities that deal with harmonization, convergence, whatever it is, we will find out. He is also the chair for the Regulatory Harmonization Steering Group in the APEC Life Sciences Forum. I find APEC so interesting because it's kind of countries around the Pacific. So you have Canada and the US, but you also have China, and you also have Chile and the other. And so it's a very diverse region where you certainly have a lot of issues, not only in terms of people are not native English speakers, but also come from very different cultural backgrounds. So the agreeing on the meaning of words is very important. So I think, Mike, maybe just ask you to either speak from here or go. I think you have some slides, no? Yeah.